getting the keys, I'm getting the keys, I'm getting the keys!
My name is Ruth. That day, I was having a meal with my younger sister. Suddenly, I noticed police officers everywhere outside. I knew what was coming had finally arrived, so I told my sister I had to go somewhere far away, and that I wouldn't be able to watch her grow up for a while. I told her to stay right where she was. After she nodded, I finally made up my mind. I turned her chair around so that her back would be to the window. I didn't want her to see me in such a wretched state. I gently kissed her one last time and walked out. I didn't resist when the police closed in. Just like that, I was locked up for 20 years. Now, I'm finally out. All I want is to find my sister. As an ex-convict, I know how difficult this will be, but I don't want to give up, following my memories. I returned to the house where my sister and I once lived, but now it's home to a lawyer and his wife. I walked inside. Beautiful memories kept flashing through my mind. My heart felt like it had been struck hard. A deep sadness began to spread. Just as I was about to leave, the lawyer offered me a ride, not far down the road. The car came to a stop. He said there must be more to my visit than just looking at the house, that there had to be a deeper story.
Something's not right. Ruth, what's up with you?
I lived in that house with my little sister when my parents died. Went into the system, she got adopted, and that's just the last place I was with her. Didn't hear anything back. I don't even know if she's alive.
Ruth, it's tricky what you're trying to do. I'm gonna see if I can help you out.
A few days later, he actually helped me find my sister's adoptive parents. They explained that my sister had grown into an outstanding young woman, but that she had lost all memory of her life before the age of 5. She doesn't even remember me. He made it very clear. They don't want me disturbing her life now. In their eyes, their daughter could never have a sister with a criminal record. To me, as her sister, I just wanted to see her, to know how she's doing. That wish had been my emotional anchor for 20 years. But her adoptive parents stood firm. They absolutely refused to let me see her. All the emotions I had been holding back finally broke loose. With no other choice, I went to the lawyer's house for help, but he wasn't home. His wife came out instead. She said I was a person with a criminal record, that I had brought all this on myself, and that I should let go of any hope of seeing my sister. In that moment, I completely broke down.
You are not a victim!
I said
all right?
I
That's
did
bullshit!
I had to make
Face
a choice!
it.
She was only 5 years old! She was...
Get the fuck off my property. Get in the house now. You got a lot of nerve coming here.
Where's John? I need to talk to him right away.
How dare you come here?
I'll leave. Just tell me where he is.
This is not our problem, all right? You're not his client anymore.
I have a chance to see my sister, and I just need to know, can I go by myself? Do I have to take
I don't
him
give a
with
shit
me?
about your sister. She was taken away from you because of your choices you have to live with.
I have no patience for the lawyer's wife's lectures. I just want a chance to see my sister. I want to find the lawyer and ask him if I have the right to visit her. But the lawyer's wife refuses to let my sister see an ex-con. She thinks this is the price I should pay. But I've already spent 20 years in prison. Not being able to take care of my sister has tormented me all this time. While I was locked up, my sister was adopted by another family. Now, I'm finally free, yet I still can't see her. Why must I keep being punished? I can't understand it. The pain is unbearable. The lawyer's wife ignores my pleas, even mocks me coldly. She says all the suffering is my own fault. I can't accept that. I completely lost control.
She was only 5 years old! She was only 5 years old!
Right now, I just want to see my sister. That day, the sheriff ignored my threats and broke down the door. I confronted them wildly, not realizing my sister had already picked up the gun. She aimed at the sheriff. It wasn't until the shot rang out that I understood. By the time I rushed over to save her, she had already collapsed on the floor, and I could only stare at the bleeding sheriff. I knew my sister was in serious trouble now, but to protect her, I panicked and grabbed her, raised the gun, and charged out of the room. I yelled that I had done all of it. Hearing this, the lawyer's wife was stunned. I told her again this was my fault alone. I was the one who took a life. I was ready to face all the consequences. In the end, the lawyer's wife softened and agreed to take me to see my sister. I was too emotional to put it into words. Soon we arrived at the destination. Just then my phone rang.
What?
I've got a gun to her head.
Bullshit. What do you want? It says I start today second shift.
Nope.
Do you get a phone call or a visitor between when I had a job and when I didn't?
Finding a job has been incredibly difficult for me. I know the boss was deliberately making things hard. I had no choice but to accept it quietly, because I carry the label of a murderer. But I need food. I have to survive. At the parole officer's suggestion, I went to apply at a seafood processing plant again. I managed to get a tough job there. A kind coworker taught me how to work efficiently, and I quickly mastered the skill. After work, That kind coworker asked if I needed a ride. I ignored him. I didn't know whether he had other intentions. These days I'm always on guard. Back at my place while I was showering, I heard sharp noises outside the bathroom.
Hey, you're past your time. Drag your bitch ass out next time.
I decided to look for a new place to live. Walking down the street, the noise of construction suddenly reached my ears. I thought maybe I could find a part-time job here. When I told the owner my idea, he said he had just fired 5 employees and planned to handle the rest himself. Seeing that he wasn't looking to hire, I used what I knew about carpentry and casually pointed out a few mistakes he was making. The owner looked at me differently after that. He decided to give me a chance, just when I started to feel hopeful. My parole officer wasn't happy about it.
You better tell your boss who you are.
Why? I gotta be a convict wherever I go?
No, you're a cop killer everywhere you go, yes.
Thankfully, though the boss didn't care about my past, I began a whole new life, hustling every day to get by. One day at work, that kind coworker approached me again, coolly. He was interested in me. After our shift, he offered me a ride once more. This time, I didn't refuse his kindness. He smiled happily when he saw me get in the car, and for the first time in a long time, I smiled too. On the road, since I stayed quiet, he kept trying to make me laugh. It made me feel relaxed. We soon arrived at my place. He reluctantly said goodbye. After work ended, memories from the past kept haunting me. When I heard someone call my name, I stayed on alert. I grabbed a wrench from the shelf and quietly stepped out to see who it was.
Shit, I'm sorry.
It turned out to be that kind coworker. He explained that ever since he met me, his life had started to change. He realized he had fallen in love with me. He couldn't sleep at night, so he came to find me, hoping to surprise me. He didn't expect to be greeted with a wren. He picked up a box of donuts from the ground. Then he handed me a jacket. He'd noticed I wasn't dressed warmly enough and had brought it just for me. It fit perfectly and was very warm. I didn't know how to thank him, but in that moment, I was genuinely touched. Because in all these years, he was the first person who showed me care.
That's rough. His parents dying.
Yeah, but life goes on, right?
The stranger's name is Steven. He showed up at my place and made it clear he wasn't leaving anytime soon. I had to remind him that I needed to leave for work before he finally reluctantly took off. After making absolutely sure he was gone, I left home. But what I didn't expect was that he'd come back so soon. Steven slipped out from behind the curtains, walked straight to my bed, and went through my diary and my sister's photos. Little did I know, he was already brewing a sinister plan. Just as I arrived at my destination, my parole officer stopped me. When he found out I was trying to contact my sister through a lawyer, he coldly informed me that I'd lost that right the moment I became a murderer 20 years ago.
Let that girl live her life. Your life starts here now, not 20 years ago. All she knows of you is as a killer. She's probably scared of you. It's a reason why your sister hasn't contacted you. You're a convict. She's actually better off without you.
His words cut through me like a knife. So, I buried myself in work, forcing myself not to think about it. Even so, I refused to give up. Eventually, my lawyer managed to send a letter to my sister's current home, but her adopted parents refused to let them meet. They didn't even want their daughter to know. She had a sister who was a killer. Meanwhile, Steven told his brother that I had a sister. They wanted me to feel what it's like to lose family. As it turns out, the 2 brothers are the sheriff's sons. They've always believed that I was the one who shot their father. Ever since then, they've been carrying that hatred. Now, they're determined to get revenge. And I was completely in the dark, unaware of the disaster heading my way. Once my past came to light, my already fragile life grew even harder. I couldn't deny that I'd killed someone, even if it was an accident. I went to my parole officer and admitted he'd been right all along. Wherever I go, I'll always be known as the cop killer. It felt like all hope had drained out of me, but this time his reaction took me by surprise. Instead of judgment, he brought me unexpected news.
Well, your fancy lawyer called. You gotta meet him. Just the parents.
When?
Don't know, call your lawyer. And clean yourself up a little. Act like I'm teaching you something.
She never slept as a kid.
She sleeps fine. I don't think there's anything more to talk about.
What did you do to my letters? Did you throw them away? Did you burn them? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bitch!
My emotions are overwhelming me. I don't understand why Katie's adoptive parents won't let us see each other. Why are they so ruthlessly trying to erase her from my memory? During my 20 years in prison, I wrote thousands of letters, but Katie never received a single one. I can't accept it. The belief that kept me going for 2 decades shattered in an instant. Katie's adoptive father even warned me, if I keep harassing them, they'll have me sent back to prison.
I didn't burn your letters.
In that moment, it felt like my last hope had been ripped away. Meanwhile, the younger daughter of Katie's adoptive family accidentally discovered the hidden letters. She read them carefully, and tears fell as she was moved by what they contained. Back at the construction site, I completely lost control. I unleashed all my rage, pounding my fists against the wall again and again. Later, I wandered the streets in a daze, until suddenly my phone rang. The caller had been silent for so long.
I'm calling because I read your letters.
We agreed to meet in a park. I sat on a bench, and the girl noticed me, just as I bent down to pick up a little girl's dropped glove. Seeing that small act of kindness, she felt sure I wasn't the bad person she'd been told about. She sat down beside me and we talked for a long time. I shared fun stories from Katie's childhood, and she told me that Katie had become an accomplished pianist. What mattered most, I was nothing like the monster her parents described. Before we parted, she gave me a message.
She's rehearsal this afternoon. Cornish Auditorium at 4 p.m.
Overwhelmed with joy, I knew I would finally see my sister again, but just then, a man not far away began following the girl, mistaking her for Katie. He had sinister intentions. A carefully laid plan was about to unfold.
Oh, shit. Steve.
Steve?
Oh, shit. Look, Steve.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry.
Betrayed by his own brother and his wife, he could no longer hold back. He went back to his mother's house, took the gun his father had left behind, and decided it was time to carry out the plan he had long been brewing. His father had once been the town sheriff, but was shot and killed in an accident. Now that I was out of prison, his brother pressured him to seek revenge, but for the sake of his wife and child, he had always hesitated. With his family now falling apart, he finally began to stalk Ruth. To make me feel the pain of losing a loved one, he saw me meeting a young woman and assumed she must be my sister. So he followed her, preparing to make his move. Soon after, I received a call. It was from him. He gave me an address and insisted I come alone. Meanwhile, his brother kept calling to apologize, but he refused to answer. I arrived at the location and followed his instructions. Inside the warehouse, I found the girl lying on the floor. I tried to reason with him, insisting the girl had nothing to do with any of this, but he ignored me and forced me to my knees. He was determined to make me experience the pain of losing family. Just as he was about to act, I brought up his father. Hearing that, his composure nearly broke.
He talked about you that day. Said you always would give up your room so we had a place to go. He was kind.
You do not ever talk about him!
Maybe it was my sincere apology, or maybe he couldn't bring himself to abandon his wife and child. But in the end, he lowered the gun. At that moment, the police rushed in. I had saved the girl, however. I was still on parole at the time. I was handcuffed on the spot for violating the terms. The man was also detained. Later, thanks to testimony from my parole officer, I was eventually released. The girl's family arrived soon after, and finally I saw my sister. I didn't dare approach, afraid she wouldn't remember me, but she walked slowly toward me. After a long, silent gaze, we embraced tightly.